The emblem is basic. You have a shape in the center of the chest, Iron Man style or any superhero, and you can make it an organic shape, or you can choose something like a circle or diamond, whatever you want. And then you just radiate out from that. So first off, turn the shirt inside out. Get all the seams lined up, get a washable marker, fold it in half, find the center point, mark it on both sides. Up here too. You grab the 2 marks at the front. I always put the front of the shirt down, just so I can always remember which is which. And then you find the 2 marks on the back, make a straight line, put it right on top, grab it, give it a little shake, lay it flat with the 2 seams in line, like that. Alright, now for the emblem, it's going to be right about chest height. So usually you can go to the bottom of the armpit of the shirt and go straight across, and that should go right about through the middle, or at least the bottom portion of the emblem. You kind of want it to mostly be above that point. So the general shape we're going to want is, say, something like that. Or you can do a diamond or something spectacular. But we're just going to kind of bring it into a point. I'm not really going to follow this line because I want something a little more, I don't know, mysterious. Something where I don't really know how it'll turn out. But that shape is a good idea for just seeing the size, because you don't want this too big. You want it to be a small emblem. Remember, this is going to unfold in half and make twice the size. So make it relatively small. When it's too big, it kind of looks awkward. And then tie it off. Now for the rest of the shirt, we're just going to need lines expanding out from the center. So to get that, we can just go all the way around using this as our center pivot point. But it's nice to get something besides just a circle going around, like a nice, hourglass shape or light bulb shape, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to imagine this line, because you can honestly make this up as you go, but I'm going to imagine a line going around like that, and then just crimp along it. Using my hands here to hold a height, and then I can just crawl with my fingers into any shape I wish, right above the center mark, but still below the collar. You want to be able to see the entire shape underneath the collar, so let's make sure we put this line at least an inch below it. And then the rest of it, you can just sort of bunch it up in line with that, so you have straight ridges like that. Grab it by 2 sides, push it together, and then you get all sorts of little brainy ridges in there that are all going to create new textures. And then from the outer perimeters, you just keep bringing it together until you got a nice flat bunch, and we'll put elastics on this. And that's it. You can kind of make it up every time as you go. You do want it to be a little bit different every single time, but onto the ice. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a rainbow going down the center here. I'm going to create a purple up top by mixing a pink and a blue, because I don't have a purple made right now. But that's perfectly acceptable. And then you can put blue right beside that. And when you get yellow and blue near each other, they're going to make a lot of green anyway. So you can just go straight to yellow. Yellow you can do lots of, because you can do other colors over top of yellow. That's really important. So now I got this golden yellow that I'm going to use as an orange right beside it. And then finally I've got a red. Like that. So remember, this is the back side that is facing up. And we're going to put our dark colors on the back side. And just radiate out from the center here, kind of go around. Let's start with old trusty black. So I'm going to do it just a little bit away from the rainbow, because this is going to bleed. It's a good gangster line for you. Now I'm going to take blacks and put it at, other random intervals. But you want to make sure you're trying something new every single time. If you do that, you're always going to be learning. You're always going to be getting new results. You're always going to see the different variants that you can get with different shirts. And now that we've done all that, we're going to put ice on it. Now you'll notice that we're putting the dye underneath the ice this time and not on top of it. It's just because it gives a different design. Putting it underneath, the colors are going to come out darker afterwards. They're going to be more solidified. There's not going to be as much of a gradient in the color. It's going to be less of a spectrum. When you put it on top, of course, the dye melts to the sides of the ice cubes, which really spreads it out, and you get a bright or light spot in the center and darker towards the edges. So you get kind of a bubbling effect by putting it on top, and you get more of a tight gradient when you put it underneath. So what I've done here is I put this little clamp underneath the colorful part just to raise it up, so that gravity was working with it, so that the dye didn't run downhill towards the rainbow but kept away. So if we're going to add more black for definition, it'll be nice to put it right here between these 2 pieces of sinew. Reason being that way a little bit of rainbow will extend beyond the black and make it seem like the gem in the middle is just shining. So we'll take a little black here. That should be enough. I let the ice melt all the way here, just because it is a thicker fold. As you can see, there's still lots of white on this side. We're gonna have to do quite a thick dyeing on this side as well to keep it up. So it's important that we add a little bit more soda ash right now, so that the dye that we do put on this side has a chance to stick in its most potent efficacy. A little bit of blue here with yellows, add a little bit more golden yellow, and there's already red on there as well, so I'd say that's good right there. And now, radiating out from the center, we're gonna want the rainbow lines. If you already have a lot of liquid dyes made up, you can use these. You can just do a rainbow right on top. That's exactly how I did this shirt here. Is the second side, the bright side, the rainbow side, you can see was all done like the middle was, where it was done with these liquid dyes. I like to switch it up, and so this time I would like to do an ice dye on this side as well. So this one, just to make things a little bit different, I am going to do ice first on this side. So I am going to put a little bit of black on this side and maybe a couple other little colors and spots, just to connect the front and the back together so they have those transitions. Some blue violet, a little bit, doesn't need to be too much. Do a line of deep yellow, something like that. Maybe a little bit more back here just to blend them together. Some regular yellow. And we'll get like a rainbow pattern going here is what we're gonna try to accomplish. This is bright green. For blue, we can just use that same electric blue, see how that turns out. No idea, but it's always fun to try new colors. We've already got some blue violet on there, so let's use a little bit of lavender for a purple here. Nice lighter version. And then we just need a red. So let's use fuchsia for this one. And that's it for this side. Just gotta let it melt. And we wanna make sure it penetrates as deeply as there is white. So about halfway through the shirt at least. The ice isn't quite completely gone, but you can see that the colors here have soaked in most of the way. You know, you can't really see the white down underneath the colors anymore. So if we keep the ice on here, it'll start to dilute a lot of the colors that are here. So I'm going to take it off now so that the colors stay nice and potent. I'm going to put this bright side, the front side, face down inside the plastic bag so that all the excess liquid can pool in the bottom, and it's going to create another black layer over top, but just over the surface of the colors. So it's going to go dark, color, dark. When we're arranging this, we always want this to be uphill because we don't want too much to pool around the part in the middle. So you can see what I've done here. The rainbow at the center is here, and I've put it on top of just a tie-dye container to keep it up so that any liquid going down goes downward towards the bottom of the bag. Alright, it's been 24 hours here. Now this part's always the same. You always want to start with cold water and gradually get warmer as you go, getting rid of all the dye at each stage along the way. And then this is what she looks like. So we're going to wash this as always with a little bit of Synthropol, about half a cupful, not too much. There's the back, by the way, essentially the same thing. It looks like a glowing rainbow scarab. Very cool. But wash it on hot, use a little bit of Synthropol for sure. That's what you need to do to get the excess dye out. About half a cupful, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done.